J-Line.
The Clippers can do whatever the hell they want, but I'm not going. to trust them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
It's March Madness, baby. Yo, college basketball's holy grail. There's been so many upsets, no perfect brackets. Which teams or players are impressing you early on, and which teams are a disappointment? Mukhtar, let's start with you, brother.
I got three teams that really impressed me.
Mm.
Oregon State, Loyola, and Howard Christian. Wow. First of all, Loyola consistently busting people's brackets every year. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Jean?
year.
Yeah, every
Sister
year.
Jean, I need that blessing. Please.
Every
Please.
year.
ASAP.
Yeah,
Oregon State, wow. Oregon State, their program historically cannot win tournament games, and they won 2 back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, I'm really impressed. And other than that, Virginia, trash. Like, what should we expect from Virginia again? Like, they just been.
Well, they won that 1 year, but like Virginia is that school that like, they get to the tournament and like you just know they're going to lose. It's just a matter of when they're going to lose.
I want that program folded.
I second that. And Baylor has really impressed me. I didn't think they were that good because I watched them earlier in the year. They played pretty trash, but to see them pump Wisconsin, but like score like damn near 100 points in a college game, which is crazy, especially in the tournament, that was really impressive. So yeah, those are my teams.
And any players really, or you're not? What do you make of the talent pool?
Well, I said this before. I don't think this draft class is going to be that strong. I just think all the guys that were supposed to go to the big schools never really panned out. All the top recruits, and it's more like a lot of guys in small schools you're going to see get drafted higher, like guys from Stanford, guys from like smaller schools. So yeah, it's my opinion.
Yo, so Jalen, March Madness, who's impressing you? Teams, players, what are you disappointed in? Give me your overview.
Oregon has really impressed me. Iowa's a very Caucasian team. And when I say that, I mean they're very fundamental and they play really, really good defense, very, very sound defense. And Oregon made them look like a high school team, like a JV team. So I was really impressed with Oregon. They played at their own pace. They were never hurried. They seemed to be always in control of that game. So for me, Oregon really impressed me, and Gonzaga impressed me. I knew they were good. I didn't know they was this good. Jalen Suggs, I called it from the jump. I said Jalen Suggs is a serious hooper. Jalen Suggs is a serious hooper. That guy, you can't speed him up. Doesn't matter what you do, you can't change his pace. His body control is ridiculous going to the rim, and he always seems to make the right play with the basketball. So that's who's impressed me. Who disappointed me? NCAA. If you ever see this, fold Virginia's men's basketball program. Don't waste any more time putting them into this tournament. Fold that program. I will start a petition. Those of you who can sign it, please do sign it. Fold Virginia back. I'm tired of them showing up as a top 5 seed all the time, or as the 1 or 2 seed, and they always lose in the round of 64.
Always kill my bracket.
I picked them this year because I'm like, there's no way that you can lose this year. There's no Kentucky, there's no Dukes, UNC's on their last legs. Like, bro, like there's no way you can screw it up this bad. And what do? They screwed it up this bad. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna blame them. That's on me.
No, but like,
what is it that Juwan usually says? Once is
an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. And I fell for the pattern, Perry. Exactly. I fell for the pattern. Hook, line, and sinker, bro.
There you go.
And the problem I have with Virginia, because I follow the ACC really closely, they kill it every year in the ACC. So coming out of the ACC, you're like, yo, this team can hoop. This team's gonna go far. But when it comes to that tournament, it's like you guys just said, it's that pattern, and it's like
that year where they won though. That year where they won,
but they had but Perry, they had no choice but to win because the year before that they got knocked out by the 16th seed.
Well, in the ACC, they're also playing like Vanier College and John Abbott, bro. Like, there's only two real teams in the ACC. That's Florida State and Duke.
ACC is watered down this year. It's just true.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like UNC.
Not Duke. Not Duke. UNC. Sorry.
Yeah. Duke was watered down this year. Syracuse is actually a surprise team this year.
Mm.
Syracuse is actually the team from the ACC that's actually doing damage. But they're the opposite of Virginia, I find. Syracuse would be like the 11th seed, but they'll go further than Virginia at like a top seed. And that's another pattern that I've been seeing in like a reverse way. Yo, Perry, what are you liking from March Madness so far, and what's disappointing you?
Firstly, I want to say I'm disappointed in the NCAA in and of itself. There's absolutely no way that we can have women essentially working out with grapefruit while the men's team has an actual facility. Either they share it or you build them something that's worth using and that can develop them as athletes and help them discipline habits and things of that sort. This is embarrassing.
Talk about the food.
Oh, come on. Like they're going to university. Like this is like, you know, I can't say the name, but this is not something that you would feed humans. This is dog food. Like give them something presentable. Like treat them with dignity and with respect. You know,
they heated up Hungry Man dinners and the Michelina dinners and said here's your meal.
Expired Hungry Men.
Bro.
And that's coming out of your tuition. Like this is
no, that's crazy.
The thing that really bothers me about all of this is that the Hungry Men package looks like it costs more than their weight room.
Yeah.
And that weight room just looks like, you know, the middle-aged yoga studio, but with nothing. You know, it looks like something that you'd have to build from the ground up, and it's just embarrassing. Like respect these athletes. They're all putting in the time, the work, the sacrifice. This is $1 billion corporation. People are making money off of this. And people are making money off of this. People are struggling to go to class and balance that with athletics. They're exhibiting the highest amount of dedication to one's craft. And they're essentially being slapped in the face. This is embarrassing. Please step it up. Tupac Amaru Shakur once said, if we don't, we'll have a race of babies that hate the ladies. And that's what it looks like. This is pure hate.
I want to add one thing before you continue, Perry. It's just like one of the things that like bothered me too is because like I was like listening to a lot of things, and a lot of those athletes, like they like even on the men's side, but like specifically the women, they're leaving like children behind and all of that to grind it out and go play NCAA basketball. You know what I'm saying? So for them, it's even like it's a bigger burden on them, you know. So you gotta treat them with more respect. Like I couldn't grasp how disrespectful that was to these ladies balling.
To me, the disrespect. Can I just jump in, Perry? Sorry.
Yeah, 100%.
But to me, that wasn't as disrespectful as their reasoning. The reasoning was the most disrespectful part.
Oh yeah.
When they said it wasn't anything to do with us preferring the men, it had to do with space, and then she turned around and showed an entire banquet hall completely empty. That's disrespectful. They should have just come out and said, "We don't care about the women." That would have then I would have been like,
they shouldn't have said anything.
They're honest. At least
they shouldn't have said anything.
But I was listening to. Sorry to cut you off, Perry, but I want to get this in. I was listening to a broadcast, and they were talking about how the NCAA handled it, right? And one of the things that they were saying is that like the person in charge of women's basketball was getting all the blame. She was getting all the blame, but the president was nowhere to be found. The man hid in the shadows and never came out and said like, "My bad, this is on me." They didn't own up to the fact.
But there's no my bad. What my bad can you give?
I know, but there's no my bad. But like you own up.
There's no my bad. What can you say?
Y'all fucked up. Own up to it.
But what can you say? There's no my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like what excuse?
You're right about that.
You actually like hear where you can say, "Hey, you know what? This is a fair excuse."
I don't care.
It was out of budget.
No, but I don't care. But I don't care. Just come out and say, "Yo, I fucked up," and fix it right away instead of.
If they come out and they said, "I don't care," I can sit down and I can live with that because at least they're being honest with me.
I can. Yeah. Because I think of it in the sense where eventually the young boy may be a father, or like, may help my siblings with their children, or whatever the case may be, where I have youths in my life that I'd be influencing, and I imagine having a young, like, daughter one day,
Mm-hmm.
and her aspiring to do great things, where she looks at the basketball that's being watched in the house, whether it's WNBA, NBA, NCAA, men's or women's, and she aspires to be there. She works her whole life to get there so that she can be fed hungry men.
No, I'm with you on that. Like, yeah, I'm with
It
you on
just
that.
it
Yeah,
irritates
yeah.
me, because there are a
Great
lot
point.
of women in my life
Great
that I
point.
admire and I respect, and I couldn't
100%.
I can't fathom having a world where they're being treated in that way. But I'll go on a happy note. So, the teams that have disappointed me: Oklahoma State.
Damn.
Oklahoma State, and I'm going to tell you why. They gave their best player an ESPN special. He sat down, looked in the camera, and said, and I quote, "We're not done yet," to go home the next day.
What did they do, Perry?
They packed their bags and went home the next day. So I just think this is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I know it's not a one-player game. I just wish I saw a little bit more. But I want to articulate and say this: I don't blame Kade Cunningham for the loss, and I'm gonna tell why. I think right now the NCAA, the way it's working, is that you're not gonna find too many first-year players taking over. Not this year. And the reason why you're not going to find it this year is COVID. COVID made it so that I believe it's a great equalizer in NCAA basketball right now, because those one and done players who are way talented than all these other teams, they're playing kids who have repped the same sets, shout out Future, for the past 2-3 years. So they're playing 3-year veterans who have their coaches' sets known like the back of their hand, who have been in every situation under the sun, who have gone to some NCAA tournaments and have that type of experience. And they're essentially taking kids out of high school who got to shoot a little bit with a mask on. It's not going to work in that sort. Gonzaga did a great job at incorporating Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs did a great job at seeping his teeth into that culture and actually getting the richness out of it. So I can't say Gonzaga's impressed me, because I think they might just win it all. But I want to say Syracuse. Jalen, I need you to ask me why I chose Syracuse. Or actually, Mukhtar, ask me why I chose Syracuse.
Why did you choose Syracuse?
Because they have a man named Buddy, and that guy is taking over.
Buddy Boeheim.
Buddy Boeheim. His initials are BB, and this man is sniping. So
Coach of Jim Boeheim, a son of Coach Jim Boeheim. Sorry.
Yeah, and usually when you see the son of a basketball coach, like John Calipari just had his son on the bench, and taught his son how to
never
coach.
played.
No, bro, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, he never played. Personally, I think that's admirable, where you kind of bring your son in, teach him how to coach, things of that sort, so that when he wants to become a coach, he can go in and kind of get his feet wet. But he wasn't really playing his son like that. But this kid is nice. And I also have Oral Roberts. I don't know if I pronounced it right.
No, hold on. Wait. Can we just agree that Oral Roberts is the worst name in this tournament?
Oh, 100%. I had this story to tell. My brother sent me a text message, and he said, "I can't believe Oral Roberts just did that." I looked at the phone. I said, "Don't ever send me something like this again." And I put my phone down. And he was like, "Are you not watching March Madness?" I was like, "There's a team called Oral Roberts." Someone literally sat down and invested millions of dollars in a university to call it Oral Roberts.
Yeah.
And they're whooping?
I need to know the history.
And they're whooping?
Yeah, that's the word. Yo, for real. That's
imagine
this team is
imagine,
whooping.
Imagine you have a lady in your life. You're like, "Yo, I have to leave. And she says, I'm sorry, guys, I have to do the voice. When do you think you'll come back? And you say, I don't know, but I think we're going to win it all. We're playing the 16th seed. Who is it? I don't even know their name. It's like Oral Roberts. And you go home? You go home? These guys are hoopers. I like what's going on in the tournament. I think it's interesting to see how these programs that are a little smaller are upsetting the bigger programs. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to see how teams are it's coaches that are winning right now. It's not players that are winning.
Yeah, great.
And I think this might be the last great year of college basketball. I think players are going to start moving more towards like the NBA G League development programs, more professional programs. I think Cade Cunningham might be the best and last great college player to play at that level. Why? Because this is not for the faint at heart. March Madness more hurts your stock than helps it if you're a top prospect.
Yeah, because all eyes are on you. Yeah, great point there. Because
it's not built for the one and done.
No, exactly. No, it's built for like the teams.
It's built for the coach.
Yeah, because
who makes the best adjustments is the one who wins it.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, because this is something that I've been thinking about as I'm watching the tournament. You know how like in years past we had like the Kevin Durant's and all of those guys balling, right? Now you don't see that as much. You're seeing team strategies. Like the player talent is not that high. Mukhtar's been saying it from time. He's like, yo, the draft pool is not that nice.
I think this draft class is strong, so I disagree with Mukhtar.
Okay, yeah.
But I think the great players are not playing in the NCAA like that. Like, I think it's like more the G League has like two prospects in Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga. Gonzaga, obviously, they have their player, Jalen Suggs, but they also have that Kispert.
Brandon Kispert stinks.
Kispert?
Bro, you can't just name me two guys that are in the G League and tell me that this is a strong draft class, though. Kuminga's a top 15 lottery pick.
I'm literally listed.
But you just listed. You said two guys from the G League, and then you said a strong draft class. Yeah, at least like 5 to 10 guys.
Listed. Bro, apparently it's 15 deep. Like you have Scotty Barnes who's there. 1 second. You know, Scotty Barnes who's there. He's getting Draymond Green comparisons. You have obviously like my guy Jalen. You have Cade Cunningham. It's a strong five-way go. Don't worry, Mukhtar. I just have slow internet. But
no, it's okay. You just weren't prepared.
You have that. Prepared. You have Evan Mobley from USC. You have Moses Moody from Arkansas. You have Keon Johnson.
Yo, look at Mukhtar's face. Mukhtar's loving this, huh?
Yeah, you can love it. But then you have Usman Garuba from Spain. You know, people who are actually just coming. Like, I think this draft class is very strong.
You have no idea who that is.
You just told me, literally, no, you just told me two guys that might. You guys, two guys that'll go top 5 in Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham. And that's a strong class?
They have 5. They have Jonathan Kuminga is top 5. He's
not a top 5. He's not a top 5 talent.
He's projected top 5. He's literally projected top 5.
He's 11. He was 11 like last week, bro.
He's projected top 5.
Yo.
It's okay. You're ready for that one.
Bro, I'm literally
I won't catch you off guard. I won't catch you off guard again.
I'm literally looking